She was the most admired woman in Europe, a queen whose beauty became legend, whose freedom was stolen by a crown, and whose life ended because one man sought immortality through murder. Behind the glitter of the Habsburg Empire lay a lonely woman desperate to escape the prison of royalty. But no matter how far she traveled, she could never outrun obsession. This is the extraordinary and heartbreaking story of Empress Elisabeth of Austria, the woman the world simply called Sisi.
Welcome to OZ's TV, where history comes alive.
Before the world knew her as Empress Elisabeth of Austria, she was simply Sisi. She was born on Christmas Eve 1837 into the Bavarian royal family, surrounded not by rigid court etiquette but by forests, lakes, horses, and freedom. Unlike many European princesses, Elizabeth enjoyed an unusually relaxed childhood. She climbed trees, rode horses for hours, and wandered the countryside with little concern for royal protocol. No one expected her to become one of Europe's most famous women. That destiny belonged to her older sister. When Emperor Franz Joseph of Austria traveled to meet his intended bride in 1853, the arranged marriage was supposed to unite two powerful royal families. The chosen bride was Helene, but fate had other plans. The young emperor barely noticed Helene. Instead, his eyes remained fixed on 16-year-old Elizabeth, beautiful, shy, natural, untouched by the artificial elegance of court life. Within days, Franz Joseph announced he would marry Elizabeth instead. The decision shocked both families. One sister gained a crown, the other lost her future. What seemed like the greatest fairy tale in Europe would soon become one of history's most tragic royal prisons. The wedding in April 1854 dazzled Europe. Vienna celebrated. Church bells echoed across the empire. Crowds believed they were witnessing the beginning of a perfect romance. They were wrong. The 16-year-old bride arrived at the Habsburg court completely unprepared for its suffocating rules. Every minute of her day was scheduled. Every conversation was monitored. Every gesture was judged. Nothing belonged to her anymore, not even her own children. Her formidable mother-in-law, Archduchess Sophie, believed that Elizabeth was far too immature to raise future emperors. After each child was born, Sophie took control of their upbringing. The young empress watched others decide how often she could even see her own children. The palace was magnificent, but to Elizabeth, it felt like a prison built from marble and gold. As Elizabeth matured, Europe became obsessed with her beauty. Her chestnut hair reached nearly to her ankles. Its care required hours each day. Her waist became legendary. She exercised obsessively, dieted relentlessly, measured every pound. Portraits of the young empress spread across Europe. Painters struggled to capture what admirers described as impossible perfection. People copied her hairstyles, her gowns, her riding habits. Even queens envied her. But behind the flawless image lived a woman increasingly consumed by impossible standards. Beauty became her identity, and eventually, her prison. Franz Joseph loved Elizabeth deeply, perhaps too deeply. He remained devoted to her throughout his life. But love could not overcome the crushing weight of imperial duty. The emperor belonged to his empire. Elizabeth longed for freedom. As years passed, she spent less time in Vienna. She escaped to Hungary, to Greece, to England, anywhere she could breathe without endless ceremonies and court gossip. Rumors spread throughout Europe. Some whispered of affairs. Others claimed the imperial marriage had collapsed. No evidence ever proved these stories. Yet emotionally, husband and wife lived increasingly separate lives. The distance between them grew impossible to ignore. In 1889, Catastrophe shattered the Habsburg dynasty. Crown Prince Rudolf, Elizabeth's only son, was found dead at Mayerling. Beside him lay Baroness Mary Vetsera. Whether murder, suicide, or a tragic suicide pact, the truth remains debated. For Elizabeth, the details no longer mattered. Her son was gone. Witnesses said something inside the Empress died that day. She abandoned many royal appearances. She dressed almost exclusively in black. Her laughter disappeared forever. The woman Europe admired became a ghost wandering through royal palaces.